Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Breakroom Banter.
It is a hairstylist adjacent podcast.
Where each week,
two friends
who also happen to be hairstylists,
break down our weeks
in the break room. If you haven't noticed, there's a guest in the break room today with us.
You may recognize her.
You may
from a
recognize
previous
her.
episode.
Yes, our first returning guest.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Hey, we must like this bitch.
Right? Weren't you our first in-studio guest, technically?
Yeah.
Because we had you here before.
Oh,
Look at
Yeah,
you.
you were
So many firsts.
our guinea pig for our...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
dang.
And our guinea pig for our new cameras.
Yep.
Okay,
Look at that.
Pop off.
Yeah. HD this time.
By the way, it's Emily.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. If you,
Best friend, Emily.
best friend Emily is here
Who we
today
talk about
with
a
us.
lot.
All the time.
We actually do talk about you a lot.
We do.
So as you know, we start every episode off with our peaks and our pits. I can go first.
Okay.
My peak is that this week I have a class and I've had some time off, but this class I don't have to travel for, so I'm excited about it because I get to like relax this weekend. I still get to have family time, so it's just going to be an all around great time. I had all my goals this week.
Hey.
Period.
Exceeded all of my goals this week,
Mhm.
actually. Thanks for those extensions. And my pit is that I've overbooked myself today. Bad.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I overbooked myself bad. It was totally my fault.
Yeah.
I made an assumption that there was going to be an associate on the floor today, and that assumption was incorrect. So it was all on me. I had no one to blame, but I overbooked myself. I did it somehow, and I finished at 3:00. So like I wasn't behind.
You didn't
at all
get
today.
You finished before I did.
How did you end up pulling that off? Because it was like I knew you were gonna need help, and then I was busy, and I didn't see you
couldn't tell
because you guys don't like me anymore, and you work on the
Oh,
opposite side of the
no.
salon.
That is not what it
No.
was.
Oh,
I
know
just
that.
didn't want
I'm
to
kidding.
not work beside Emily, and Emily had a migraine from being next to that hairdryer all day.
I will say
Well, not
it was
just the
nice to have us
hairdryer.
all spaced out throughout the salon because it did begin.
I do feel like it worked out really well because I was double booked and Hunter was like quadruple booked at one point. So I just feel like it was easier that way for him and I just to like be on the other side. And
It did
was
work
less
out because it
loud.
gave other people more room over there. It was good. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
obviously just joking, by the way.
We know.
But yeah. So yeah.
All right. What about you? Who wants to go next, Erica?
My peak would be getting my hair done.
Period.
Yes.
If you guys saw our Instagram live, I've washed my hair now, shampooed it once. This is what it looks like. We
It's
like
blonde.
it. I do be liking it.
It's very nice.
That would be my peak. And that Deacon had his birthday.
Yes.
And he's gonna be here soon. My pit. I don't know. I don't really have a pit that I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, that's good.
So
I would say that's a win.
Yeah.
it's
that's
better.
good.
Yeah,
Better than having
better
one.
than having one, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, what about you, Emily?
Peak is
A little bit
probably
closer.
getting really used to like the Cune color.
Yeah.
And like really finding like my groove and all of
Mm-hmm.
it. And this week has been like a really good week. I feel like every single client that I've turned out of my chair has looked.
It has. Which, by the way,
Top
that red
peak
one
one.
that you did today, I didn't get to see any of you doing it, but I saw her checking out, and it looked so freaking good. I don't know what the heck
Yeah.
you did.
So
but-
she came in with purple hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
Dang.
used the 2000s.
Can you believe I did not see that?
her purple hair?
Did you just say Can you believe? I was like, did
Yeah.
I hear that wrong? Or
I
what?
didn't see. You said red, and I was like, red hair. Your first client.
The one we were
Yeah.
talking about this morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
In the break room.
Yeah.
Did
The
you
one
take a
we were
picture of
banking
it?
about.
Oh yeah, I took
So,
lots of pictures.
We're gonna insert it.
Yeah, because
right
Hunter's
here.
so good at inserting now.
I can insert things now.
It's really awesome. He did good.
Yeah,
I've-
the pictures turned out sick.
Yeah. God, it looked even better in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tune into our YouTube channel and
Yeah.
you'll see the
Boom.
photo.
Maybe
I
you
will.
can see it. Maybe you can't.
It was
Ideally.
sick. It turned out really good. But yeah, she came in with purple hair, and we didn't have. Usually, I always use like Pulp Bright blank canvas to pull out any kind of vivids, just because it's dependable. It's made for that color brand. That's just what I'm used to. And Hunter like caught me mid breakdown and was like, "No, we've got stuff. Like, use this." And I was like, "But I don't know.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I was like, I don't trust anything. I'm really big on like
Yeah.
use the brand's stuff
Together.
Yes, because that's
Which is
how
smart.
it's
It
made.
makes
It's
sense.
formulated to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
So like in my brain, I was like, no, it's fine. I'll just like we'll wait till next time. We'll have her fade some more, and then I'll have blank canvas next time. And he was like, we have a mannequin that has Pulp Bright color on it.
It took me a
Let me-
second, but I was sitting there and I was like, oh,
Wait.
she's so annoying. She's not listening to me.
He's
And
not
then
used to that.
I was thinking and I was like, there's a mannequin.
Yeah, there was a mannequin that had some Pulp Bright vivids on it, and he showed me what it looks like when it pulled out, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm a big like
Yeah.
I have to see it.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything hearsay. I need to see it with my actual eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to say thank you so much, because I was able to pull out her color so quickly, and you wouldn't even like her hair felt so freaking smooth too, which I've never gotten from blank canvas before. Because blank canvas is bleach.
Yeah.
But yeah, and her hair was green, and then I color shifted it, and then I got it back to like warm color. It was great.
That was like a fast color correction too.
Yeah,
Like you
3
pumped
hours.
that out.
3 hours, yeah.
I
Thing.
mean, you know, she's a pro.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Literally a vivid specialist. Like I know what we
It's
can
like
do.
she does this for a living.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Keep going.
Pitt, I don't really think I had one. I think this week was a really, really good week for me.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So it's your first week, or well, it's not your first week, but you've like your first week that you have your groove
Yes, I would
at
say that.
your new salon.
Yeah.
So I figured the first topic in this rapid fire episode could be like, what do you think about moving to a new salon that uses a completely different color line, completely different structure? Like, if you guys don't know, Emily is used to a like a independent
1099
contractor.
A 1099
Yeah.
commission setup.
Yeah, 1099 commission. So she didn't have any rules because she was an independent contractor, right?
Yeah.
So now she's shifting into a more structured commission environment, and she's finally found her groove. So I want to know, what are your thoughts? Was it a hard transition? Because we haven't talked about it.
So honestly, it's been a pretty easy transition, like as easy as it could have been. I personally was really ready for more structure, and something that I'm coming to realize, with each week that passes by, is whenever. Okay. I'm a big self-starter. I'm really good at doing things like by myself without anybody having to tell me. But when I do have somebody that's like, hey, you should hit this goal, and this goal, I work that much harder. So, like, I love doing things, like, on my own without somebody telling me. But when I do have goals and specific, like, expectations, I always like to overperform.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having the structure for me has been really amazing, and just like going into having a set schedule and just like not booking all my own appointments and showing up to work and just working, and knowing that when I leave the salon, I actually get to like leave.
Disconnect.
Yes. And it's honestly been like so amazing. And also, I didn't realize how freaking stressed out I was.
Until
And
you
how-
weren't.
Until you
Yeah,
were.
and how much I was working until I wasn't. I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, I need to pick up a hobby or something. Like, maybe I need to start a podcast, because I'm like, I have nothing to do. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
like,
last time I had
need
to like
do things.
beg you to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time you were like, "Can I be on the podcast?"
I was like, are you guys potting tonight?
Right, yeah.
Can I come? But yeah, so it's been pretty good for me personally.
Mm-hmm. You have any questions on that?
I would say, what's been the hardest part?
Okay, so it's actually kind of like it's sweet and sour. So
'Kay.
working with so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's really awesome because it's like I get to the opportunity to learn from a lot of different types of stylists.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been like, holy crap, in just like the first month, I feel like I've learned so much. And I'm already like kind of tweaking and adjusting the way that I do certain things. And so having all that variety, it's really nice because like I don't have to like I ain't gotta be best friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Yeah.
not everybody at the salon knows all of my business.
How many people were in your other salon?
5.
Oh, dang.
It was very small.
See, I don't
was very
feel like
small.
it's that big of a salon, but I'm
Yeah.
used to working in a larger team.
So, but it's also sour because it's like you kind of, I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing going on, and nobody really acts the same way consistently towards a new person, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the same way when I'm a seasoned stylist at a salon. Like, I was the same way at my last salon. Like, okay, sis, let's see how long you finna last.
Right.
Like, I'll be nice. I'll save face, but we'll see if it's actually worth something. So
Yeah.
everything takes time, but honestly, like it's sweet and sour because like in one hand, I want to feel like everybody likes me, like that people pleaser in me is like, but am I being annoying right now? Like, are you annoyed
Right.
by me? But then on the other hand, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I ain't gotta talk to any of y'all if I don't want to, and nobody will be like, oh. What's
Why are you
wrong,
not talking to me?
Emily?
Because they don't know you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is sick. I'm going to keep it just like this. I'm just kidding. I want to be friends with everybody, but also, like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Fair.
And then what would you say your favorite part is?
Honestly, learning a new color line.
Yeah.
Because I already have such a solid color knowledge foundation that learning a new line, it's like, because I love color so much, I'm like, this is fun.
Well, it's fun. It's
Like,
a challenge.
yeah.
You're learning something new and
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
And every single client, like, it's so cute. I, like, go back there and I look at everything and I'm like, okay, what am I going to use? And I use something different on everybody, and it's so nice because it used to be, like, everybody's getting 9-1 and 9-2 toner. And now it's like you guys know, Kuhn has such a large repertoire of toner.
Oh, yeah.
And different.
Over 75 intermixable shades.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's insane. It's insane.
And with the new shade shifters, we turn over 165 shades into 650 shades.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like how much you can do with it. And also just the European products in general. I think maybe you guys have heard me, but I literally tell every single last one of my clients, I'm like, just so y'all know, we fancy now.
Yeah.
We got the color robes. We ain't wearing capes unless you get your hair cut.
Yep.
We use European products, and y'all know Europeans are super persnickety about what they put in their stuff because their laws are so much stricter about what they're allowed to put in things.
Good job, Europe.
Yes, that part.
You know
And
what?
the hot towels. The hot towels.
Yeah.
My clients love the
Yeah.
hot towels.
I love
Every
those. Yeah.
single time I put a hot towel on my client, they're like, ooh.
And you know what I think I'm learning from you while working in the salon? I feel that one of my biggest struggles in my career has always been finding the balance of being myself and being a professional, and how do you make those two the same thing?
That's my favorite.
And I'm learning that from you, like just watching you do like your consultations every time. And even if I'm not watching, I'm always listening.
Yeah, because you know a girl is loud.
That
She's
too.
loud.
It's easy to hear. But still, yeah, like I think I'm going to learn that from you because you are unapologetically yourself at all times, but you're still a professional. And I've
That's
always
why they
had a
come to
hard
me.
time. Yeah, I've always had a hard time like finding that line. Like, what do you say? What do you not say? You know? So I just feel like I'm going to refine my skills, especially after we did the episode with Emma and the slate
Right.
thing. Like, I'm doing that. I'm learning from Emilie. Like, it's going to be great.
I love it.
Period.
I love it. I love it.
Period.
Love it. Ready for the next one?
All right. So,
I have the first one. I don't think that you have the first one. It's the Color by Carlos.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So Color by Carlos posted a photo on Instagram of him. It's like where you're holding
the sign, yeah.
sign. And it said, "I compensate my guests that I use for content." And so obviously controversial topic,
That is
long
yeah.
long explanation in the description, right? Like that's the thing for Instagram. So what he was saying was he compensates his clients with like a complimentary deep conditioning treatment or elevating the service in a low cost, high value way. So Ericka and I talk about that all the time of how to elevate your service and offer more value without increasing your overhead.
Yeah.
And so that's what he was saying whenever he said the post was he compensates them with those types of things. What are your thoughts?
I think it's great because when I saw the post, it was like, a sign or whatever, but for some reason I didn't have service and I couldn't like click and read the description, right? Because I think I saw it in stories. So my initial thought was like, what the heck do you mean? Money? Free services? Like, what are we talking here?
Right.
How do you compensate? Gonna need more explanation. So I think it's great.
Yeah, because he did say, he was like, I'm not meaning money. I'm meaning this way. Because he was like, I don't pay for my clients like to come to me.
No.
But he will offer free services for that. Maybe even toss in a haircut or something like that.
For like his clients allowing him to take photos of his work.
And for him to use them for content. So I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. So more like if I'm going to sit here and film your entire haircut and kind of make this a little bit uncomfortable, maybe I should throw in a deep conditioning treatment so that you feel a little special.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I think it gives clients more incentive to want to do things like that because you have a lot of clients that they're like, I don't want to be on camera.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
You can take my picture, but I don't want my face in it.
I don't want my face in it.
Yeah.
That's a
So
popular one.
I think it's a good idea. I think it gives more incentive to people to want to to be okay with doing that.
Yeah.
And also something that I tell clients all the time, I'm like, trust me, girl, they ain't looking at your face.
They're not.
I'm a hairstylist. They're looking at the hair.
They're zooming in on that follicle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They want to see if I blended it well or not, or if there's yellow spots. They're not looking at your nose, at the tip of your nose.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a good idea. He also mentioned that he didn't do that when he was building his clientele, but now that he has a clientele of like regulars, he feels that they should be compensated for him. And I'm almost wondering because he does those. He's done one in the past where it's like, oh, I put this highlight here that shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering if he does that on purpose to them so that he can correct it in a video for educational purposes. And that's what he means is like they had to look busted for a second and then
so
I
that
fixed
he could
it.
show it.
Maybe.
So he could correct it.
I mean, I follow his page pretty hard. Has he posted another one? Because I saw one he just did the other day that was like that.
He's done it a couple times.
Has he?
And I don't know if it's the same video that he keeps reposting or it just keeps popping up. But I've seen him correct his mistakes several times. But even I looking at it, I was like,
you're like, that ain't no mistake.
I
was like, maybe the
why
highlight-
did he just put one foil there? Unless he just happened to be like grab the wrong bowl while like brush.
Maybe
while
it was a low light
or something. Okay, next one. So this one we got from a hair group. I conveniently cut it out of the screenshot. Doesn't really matter. So should I read it? Or do you want to just talk about, like, I'll sum it up. So this lady had a client who, it looks like she had a payment plan set up for 6 months.
For extensions.
And the client is disputing the charges, saying she never got the extensions. So she was asking advice.
And there was a couple things that we wanted to pull
from
this. So we should mention where we found it. We found it on a Facebook group for hairdressers.
Helping hairdressers.
That's the name of the group.
Questions, tips, ideas, and inspiration.
Yes, you are. Because I think that you had liked the comment. You liked the post or something I saw.
Yeah. It was a crazy post.
Yeah. So immediately I went directly to the comments, right? And there is some good advice in here. And there's like some people that are like saying, you know, you can countersue her or you can, you know, this and that. Like, oh, and that's the other part of it is that the place that she runs her suite at is saying that the cameras didn't work. So she doesn't have that like video proof.
That she sold the
very
like, the transaction.
unfortunate for her. Someone suggested if you had a signed contract, that would have been really good. That could have.
But do we know if she had a signed contract or not?
It did not look like it. I did not see that in the comments, but it's hard. They can be confusing.
That is
but
hard.
Also, like the way that we do it at our salon, like it's very straightforward. Like you sign your thing, it states like, "Yo, I'm buying this hair." So like, I think that's kind of a lesson learned. Like, girl, you got to have more systems in place when you're talking about $1,000 services.
I do think that's
especially
true.
If you're gonna give the grace to like allow people to make payment plans. You gotta cover your booty, girl.
And we at where we work are of the mind of like it is a luxury service. We will split it up into 2 payments, but that's deposit and then final purchase.
So let me clarify this. It does say I have proof of agreement for her card to be charged monthly for 6 months, which is why she's saying she never received them instead of disputing that she didn't approve the transactions. So she does have some proof of some kind.
She has proof. She has a contract that she was going to pay.
Yeah, I would say contact a lawyer because they're going to know the right words to.
That would be my advice.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to pull from it is what people were saying.
Was what there were people in here going in on the comments about the quality of the hair and literally picking apart the before and after pictures saying these photos are months apart and like blah 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 blah.
Which they're absolutely beautiful.
Not.
We're gonna insert the photos here and give the artist credit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because she did a beautiful job.
Beautiful job.
This is stunning work.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it does.
And like somebody was like, look at her blouse is different, blah blah blah. You can zoom in and tell it is the same.
It's the
same
literally
shirt.
the same
and
shirt.
I want to give a shout out to the girl who was like, hello, like duh, this is what happened. But what I took from it is like this is literally called Hairdressers Helping Hairdressers, and if you don't have anything constructive to say,
keep it pushing. Move on.
Like we as an industry, as people I understand it is the internet, but the internet has been around long enough for us to know that
how to act,
y'all. This ain't the early 2000s, right? Like. Show up like a human being with some respect for others and present yourself as a decent person, because some of these people were just like tearing some of this stuff apart and it just really grinds my gears.
Well, and like
it's not constructive.
As hairstylists and artists, like we are already super critical of our work.
Yep.
Like what, in my opinion, that is a luxury service that is done very well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like.
Agreed.
I would comment, yeah, that's great. But if I scroll on a Facebook group for hairdressers helping hairdressers and someone posts something, she's not even asking how she did on the hair.
Yeah.
But even if someone posts something and asking how they did on the hair, if I don't like it, I'm not going to go on there and comment, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people have to be so fucking mean.
Seriously. And I mean, honestly, like I came across this one after I'd come across another one where a lady had like a hot iron burn somebody's hair off, like the curl, it burned off.
Like that.
And again, there was people in there and they would have something snarky to say and they would say 100% stylist fault.
Yeah.
It's like.
Have some humanity. Like.
Sometimes, yeah, we are wrong.
Or the regulator in your curling iron just went off and, like, you know.
It got way too hot.
Your iron that you just used on the last client, would you check it when it said at 3:30? No. Like, I mean, you know, honestly.
No.
Does everyone, you know, I don't know. It just was like, be nice. Like, you could have said that more constructively. Like.
Or not at all.
Or not at all. But if you feel like it is something, if you in your own mind think it's worth saying, say it constructively. Don't say it rudely and degradingly, and like that doesn't help anybody.
Or even like direct messaging someone. Like if you feel that inclined to comment on a post where they're not even asking about how the hair is, send a direct message. Hey, are you open for me to give you some suggestions on this that like might help you in the future?
Yeah.
But even then, just mind your business.
Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, just mind
She
your
didn't
business.
ask.
Yeah.
If you don't have
That's
anything
not what
nice
she was
to
trying to
say,
talk
don't
about.
say anything at all.
Stop talking and start listening.
Yeah.
Because that's
Period.
clearly what the issue is there.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the next one because Emily's going to leave no crumbs on this one.
Yeah, I know
Okay,
this.
so when I started doing hair 30 years plus years ago, there was no Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. With all the vibrant shades and all the styles that are out now, I feel like people are being totally unrealistic in how their hair should look and feel after these services. I wish the trends would go back to natural looking hair. That's natural looking hair. That's healthy. I also feel that people have no idea how much product it uses and how much it costs us to do their hair. First thoughts, go.
If you don't know how to do blonding well, just say that. If you don't know how to do blonding really, really well, just say that, because that's all Vivids is. Vivids is knowing how to do a solid blonding application and then knowing how to not overwork color. That's literally all it is. And if your complaint is that like, oh, well, it uses so much product. Okay, well, then just tell your clients. Like, yo, we're going to end up using a lot of product. I charge separate. That's why vivid hair coloring and regular natural hair coloring they should be charged separately, because they are completely separate services. The ounces that you get in a vivid tube, the volume, like all of that stuff is very, very different to what permanent hair color is. And you do have to charge separately for that. And also with Vivid, there is extra processes in there. Like 9 times out of 10, you need to be applying your Vivids on clarified hair that has been, that's no conditioner, that's been blow dried to 80 to 90% dry. Or unless your like Vivid brand says otherwise. But this idea of like, oh, people have unrealistic expectations. No, girl, you just don't know how to do hair right.
Well, not only that,
in my opinion.
Not only that, but it's your job to educate your clients on what is entailed in the process.
And if somebody's hair is too compromised and they can't take the damage of doing Vivids, then guess what? They probably shouldn't be blonde either.
Right.
Like, the other part about it, too, is, like, I can understand being, older in the industry before these things were out there, because, hello, I was started there. But, like, maybe if she took the time to learn Instagram or TikTok, she would be attracting her ideal client and not getting these clients that are not her ideal client.
So, like, here's the thing, honestly, is I'm tired of hearing hairdressers say like, oh, that's not possible, just because they are not educated or they don't know how to do something.
Just say you don't know how to do it.
Just say that.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because, and if you work in an environment, like, once again, we say it all the time, we're really lucky to work in the environment that we work in, because there's so many different people. If I don't want to do a stacked bob, there are 3 people I can know right off the top of my head I'm sending that client to. I love a stacked bob, so I'm not going to do that. But
but it's the principle.
It's the principle of the thing. Like, I don't know how to do that, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not well versed in that, but I'd love to like sit in and watch and chat. Like, Emilie does great Vivids. I think that she would be a better fit for you.
And also, I just want to say, like, if you know how to maintain hair color, if you know how to maintain a blonde, if you have a client that has long, healthy blonde hair, guess what? You can have clients that have long, healthy, vivid hair.
Absolutely.
I think, actually, my vivid clients have a healthier hair than my blonde clients.
Because they're coming in less frequently, right?
Yes and no. So they're coming in less frequently, but they're also I would say 9 out of 10 of my Vivid people, we don't lighten their hair every single time.
I was gonna say probably because you're doing just
Like color
skipping the
shifting.
lightener.
Yeah, we don't always lighten their hair.
Yeah.
So a lot of my Vivids, we've talked about maintenance, and for most of my clients who are Vivids, their lifestyle fits best with like a balayage with a Vivid overlay, so that when it starts to grow out, they don't have a harsh line of demarcation. Everything grows out nice and seamlessly.
Who wants better sex this year?
I mean, I think everybody does, Hunter.
Well, I know someone who can help. AdamandEve.com is a sex-positive site where you can find almost anything you desire.
Listeners of this podcast will receive 50% off plus free shipping.
Not only that, you will get some extra sexy bonus items as well.
We cannot forget to mention that everything will be packed and shipped 100% discreetly.
Just use code BRBPOD at checkout for 50% off and free shipping.
And your extra sexy bonus items.
Oh, go to AdamandEve.com.
Use code BRBPOD.
And make 2023 sex the best sex of your life.
Oh, yeah. Ergo Styling Tools exist to create hair styling tools that are easier to use, ergonomically friendly to the body, and deliver longer lasting, shiny hair.
Originally started as Ergo Research Inc., a research company to help hairstylists who were in pain after a day in the salon. What we've learned now allows everyone to look and feel their best every single day.
For nearly 30 years, leading hairstylists and salons have chosen Ergo Styling Tools for professional use and offer them to their clients to keep their hair healthy and beautiful at home.
You can choose Ergo Styling Tools and choose longevity in your career and healthier and shinier hair, and get 10% off by using code HUNTER in all caps at checkout.
So go to www.ergostylingtools.com and use code HUNTER, make sure it's in all caps, for 10% off your order.
If they want to go 6 months without coming and seeing me, they can do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, no hate for me.
Right?
Just don't, but please don't put overtone in your hair. Please don't put overtone in your hair. That's all I ask. But no, if you don't know how to do Vivids, just say that.
Right.
Just say
it's okay to say that you don't know how to do it.
If you're not comfortable doing something, if you haven't worked with it enough and you don't reliably know what you can do, then send them to somebody like me who does, because I can look at something and tell you in an instant if it's going to be possible or not. And guess what? It's okay to also tell your clients, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But we can do this, this, or this.
Right.
But
absolutely.
You have to be able to have a conversation, and you obviously either don't have the education to have that conversation with your client, or you're too stubborn to have that conversation with your client. If your output is, this just needs to go away, this trend is
right.
Guess
it's
what,
not
girl?
a trend.
Nope,
It was never a phase, Mom.
It was never a phase. It's staying.
Yeah.
Well, and going back to like you saying maybe you should learn TikTok or Instagram. My mind immediately goes to Michelle, our boss, who doesn't want to learn TikTok or Instagram. She's not going to do it.
So she hired somebody.
Hired someone to do it for her.
Period.
Because she's a seasoned stylist that
Or
wants to attract a certain clientele. You don't have to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if you don't want to do that, don't do it. Just stay in your little town, do your little haircuts on Saturdays.
Well,
that's fine. That's fine. But don't come at my goat because you don't know how to do Vivids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period.
Okay, so the last one on the agenda is this lovely video we found on TikTok.
Oh, I already know which one it is.
You know what it is?
Yep,
You've seen
know
it?
exactly what it is.
Okay, so I'm going to play it for you guys.
Yep.
Some of y'all hairstylists need to get your head out of your ass. I said what I said. I did say some. So if it applies, maybe stick around for some constructive criticism. If it doesn't, stick around for entertainment purposes or scroll on. I don't care, but I cannot simply handle this anymore. I have recently been in the market for a new hairstylist, but it is not something that I've just recently encountered. This has been something that I've encountered in the past as well, okay? I'm in the market not because my old hairdressers were bad. They were great. I just simply can't afford them anymore. So I was looking for something that was a little bit more affordable, but still good quality. And I'm so tired of y'all getting so pissed. Like, y'all are so quick to clap back, okay, at anything. Y'all want to get in your feelings about everything, get pissed off, take everything personally, and it's so apparent it's ridiculous. As a paying customer, someone that's about to walk out of your salon wearing your product on my head, I am allowed to ask educated, respectful questions, okay? And you should not get offended by that. When I worked in insurance and clients came into the door, it was my job to persuade them and let them know why I was better than all the rest, okay? Unless your clientele list is exhausted, unless you've got all the clients that you need or ever want, then by all means, why are you even taking new client phone calls, my dear? But if you're still taking new client phone calls and asking people what they need done, and they're a new client to you, then when you clap back at them for asking respectful, educated questions, and you automatically take offense as if they're attacking your capabilities, I don't know you from nowhere, and your industry is huge, babe.
Okay, I'm done.
Period.
So the first thing is,
can I please
start. Go ahead, by all means.
fucking get wrecked, bitch? Like, fuck off. No wonder nobody wants to do your hair. You're a raging asshole. You sound like the type of person that this millisecond somebody's done with your hair, you're like, my last girl did it better. I think my last girl did it better. I think I liked her color better.
Uh-huh. Well, okay.
Damn.
First things first, she's looking for a cheaper hairstylist.
A cheaper hairstylist.
That's the first thing that, like, grinds my gears is, like, okay, so you're looking for the same result at a lower cost. That's like looking for an Infinity shopping at a Nissan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And maybe you'll find it,
Yeah.
but it's few and far between.
Well, and it's going to have some miles on it, honey.
Period.
What she said.
Period.
What she said. Like... And also, it got to me when she said shag specialist.
Oh my God.
But Ericka brought up a good point.
Well, I did. There are some people who are known for, like, their style of cutting, right? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, I do have a friend who is known for her shag haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
But...
she had a chemical shag. She didn't have an intentional shag.
Oh.
That client had a chemical shag.
Listen,
That part too.
There's a whole other part. But we're not here to drag anybody's
Right.
So...
Emily's like, darn.
So, like, yes, I get it, but I can see where she thinks she's educated because she knows to ask for a shag. Honey, it's actually a little bit more of just, like, long layers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then we watched a lot of hairstylist responses to these videos as well. And even then went back and, like,
Listened again.
to every side of everything and tried to really analyze this because, like, somebody had a really good point that, like, we do have a responsibility in our, client stylist relationship if she's asking questions, like, face to face, like this and that, like, obviously being engaged, not putting the client down, all these things, and that's part of luxury, right? But he was referring to a demographic of stylists that serves people who are receiving, like, high-end services. This woman specifically said she wanted something cheaper.
Right. She's not looking for a luxury service. She's looking for something in her price point, which there's nothing wrong with.
No, exactly. And that is a valid side to that. But the overwhelming majority of stylists had this to say, which is like, you are even right now coming at it in a combative tone. We have every right. She even says in there, if you have enough clients, then you don't need or want to take more clients. When someone is coming at you with a tone like that woman had in her voice, it's like you're already coming off aggressive, and maybe I don't want you.
Period.
That was the thing, because there was instances she mentioned where in the salon, she said, I want someone that specializes in shags and I want heavy highlights.
Yeah.
Or she said, I want someone that specializes in shags. Can you do that? And she was like, or is there someone you can refer me to? And the lady said, well, we all cut hair every day. I would say that we're pretty well versed in cutting hair.
Yeah.
Which would have been, honestly, that would have been a similar response that I would have.
Same.
I would probably say it like, going off of the vibe of the client. But, it's offensive whenever you're like, can you cut my hair this way? Like, girl, you just have a simple haircut.
Well, and not only that, but she did try to compare, which is another valid point. There was someone who's
broke it down really well.
so perfectly and absolutely summed up everything I felt about the video. And he was like, you're trying to compare hairdressing and being a hairdresser to insurance sales. It's completely different.
I saw that
yes,
too.
customer service is important in any industry, but they're completely different. And she
I hate to
she
say it,
also
but
said,
This ain't Burger King, baby. You can't have it your way.
right? She also said too, educated questions. Honey, you ain't educated. Did you go to beauty school?
Then they're not educated.
Yeah, you're not educated.
You might be well informed.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw one response video to that was a stylist that was talking about how in all hairstyling, there's 3 major things that you're going to get with it. It's going to be good, fast, and cheap. You got
Can't have all 3.
You can only get 2.
Yeah.
You
can
cannot
only have
have
2 of
all
those
3. So you have to set your expectations very real. Very, very real. And if you I mean, you guys just heard how I responded as soon as I heard that video. She came at me, girl, I'm going to come right back at you right at the go, because that's not okay. You cannot speak to people like that.
Well, and
you cannot speak to people like that and expect for them to still want to do services for you.
That's the thing that I feel like in our industry, us as hairstylists, especially as everybody moves up, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people move independent, and that structure is kind of like growing more than it was before. People are having to handle their own business. They're having to handle interacting with other clients. Is like, we are learning to set those boundaries and the appropriate way to handle that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? As an industry as a whole. And so, like, shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
It was going really well. We're learning how to set our boundaries as an industry.
Yeah, we're learning how to set our boundaries as an industry because of people like this.
Yes.
And that's what I was getting at. Is like, this is just the reaction to the boundary we have set. And this lady's trying to gaslight us and tell us that we're not allowed to have boundaries and stand up for ourselves. And that's just not the reality of the situation. Now, if this woman was coming in and she's like, I am expecting a pleasant experience and I will spare no expense. Again, it is a little bit different of a situation. That does not mean that every client doesn't deserve to be treated like a princess at whatever price point.
Absolutely.
You know? Or Prince King, whatever it may be, you know. But unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to, like, maybe you are saying all of the right things, but the way that you're saying it is all wrong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it really boils down to, is like, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, how you're making someone else feel, because at the end of the day, we're not selling insurance. We're not punching numbers.
Yeah.
Like, our heart and soul is into our career. The ones that, like us, that are clearly we worked our asses off today on a Saturday.
And here we are podcasting
Yeah.
about it.
talking about
All
hair,
3 of us.
right?
Yeah.
Like, when you talk to us that way, it makes us feel
Attacked.
bad and attacked.
You
Very
remember that
attached
time
right
I had
now.
that one client that just like got under my skin,
Yes.
and I was just like, I wanted to choke her. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, God, you're so fucking rude. Like,
We are people and we have feelings.
ugh.
See, I have 0 tolerance for that kind of stuff.
I'm similar, but I will put up with it for a while before I'm like, listen, girl. One of my all-time favorite clients now, to be honest, she listens to the podcast. We had a tussle like that. And it wasn't even like a tussle, but it was one of those things where
It was a setting of expectations.
her daughter wants to be a hairdresser.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those things, like, I think she had like a medical career before. She's now like a stay-at-home mom and she homeschools. And I think her husband has a really successful career, like in an office or maybe a medical setting. I don't quite remember everything. It's all in my notes though. But she just kind of mentioned it like it was a hobby. And you know how that makes you feel.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, actually,
Yeah.
some hairdressers make more than family physicians.
Yeah.
It is, the only maybe 20% of us.
Yeah.
But
I would say when I worked in Seattle and I found out how much they were on the education team, don't get me wrong, but when I found out how much one particular coworker who happened to tell me how much money he had made the year before, how much he made working 4 days a week, it was over $300,000.
Holy shit.
And I was like, hairdressers can make that much money? Like, and you just work in the salon. It's not like he's off celebrity styling for Kim Kardashian or something, you know? I was like, and that was 5-6 years ago.
So imagine with inflation.
Yeah.
He's a half a millionaire.
He'd be doing right now, doing just fine. I mean, you do have to be a millionaire to buy a freaking house in Bellevue. Let's be honest. You ain't finding nothing under $1 million, that's for sure. Probably $2 million now. But yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think it just boils down to, like, how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if there's clients out here, just know that we're humans and we have feelings.
And if you come at me like that, I'm
gonna come right back.
I'm gonna meet you with that same energy, sis.
I do think that hairstylists are also those kind of people, like servers, that people think because we offer a service that they can, like
take advantage of that.
Take advantage or treat us like,
I do not care.
You know.
This $150
I'm not saying it's okay.
highlight is, and I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 hairstylists that she's probably encountered have had this feeling. This $150 service is not worth my peace of mind.
Mm-mm.
It's not worth the anxiety of 2-3 weeks, a week, however, like a couple of days before the appointment, constantly looking at that person's name and being like, I'm really not looking forward to dealing with this person. And like, we've all felt that feeling with a client before.
Yeah.
And it is literally the worst feeling. And I would rather just not do your hair and have an opening and fill that spot with somebody that brings me joy and peace, and I bring them joy and peace. And it's as easy as just being like, I don't think we see the same vision, and I don't think I'm the right stylist for you.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that.
Totally.
And on that note, wait, did you have one more thing?
Well, I was going to say that she did say that at some point, the texting part of it.
Oh.
She had the stylist say, well, I feel like I don't want to disappoint you, so I don't think I'm going to do this. Yeah. And it's just like, somebody said, if every stylist is telling you this, then maybe you should point the finger this way, you know, and look in the mirror, girl.
If everybody's having the same issue with you,
maybe
what's
you're
the
the
common
asshole.
denomination?
Oopsie.
Just have a real conversation with yourself, sis.
I need you to be so for real with yourself.
Right? Take a look in the mirror.
Right. All right. You got it? We good?
And that was it.
That was it.
That's all we got for you, folks.
That's
That's all. That's
folks.
what I was looking for. Thank you.
You know what? I don't think that we asked Emilie these questions the last time she was here.
I don't think we had them yet.
And so these are 2 questions that we ask every guest. And you're looking at them on the wall before. But the first question is, what is the most notable time that you've had to pick yourself back up after a fall or misstep in your career? And I feel like I know the answer.
It was literally like 4 weeks ago.
I think you were hurt on a really personal level, weren't you?
Yeah, just because like I wasn't even given the opportunity to have a conversation. Somebody else's word was just taking over everything. And then after me having to make my exit, just a lot of things have like been said about me that just like makes it seem like I was shady and like I was dishonest. And all I have to say about that is that a lot of salon environments boil down to the owner and boil down to what your owner allows. And I'm just very grateful that I'm now at Bombshells.
Period.
Well, let me say, I think that you recovered from that misstep very gracefully and quickly.
Yeah. I didn't really have a choice,
you know? You did not let it rock you, but for it seemed like maybe a week.
I have 4 cats that I have to
I have 4 children I have to provide for.
Literally.
Listen, she was an hour late because she had to hang out with her cats.
Literally.
Y'all, I finally met a redhead that is later than me. Just kidding.
Hunter knows this about me. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, probably at an hour or two.
I specifically remember the three of us looking at each other, and I said 5 o'clock.
We did
5
all
o'clock.
we did all say yes, 5 o'clock.
I didn't even get home from getting my Panda Express from down the road until like, I think I got home at like 4:15, and I was
That's
like,
fair.
I'm watching one episode of a TV show and then I'll leave.
That's fair. I swear, if you watched RuPaul's Drag Race when we're about
I
to
did.
spend 4 hours together, I hate
Oh,
you.
God.
Anyway, on that note,
Right.
wait, we have
Last
one more question.
one. Countering that, Emily, can you share a moment with us when you have surprised yourself with something you were able to accomplish? There's some examples there.
My mental health journey has been, I'm very proud of myself. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm surprised, but I would say that I have a very deep sense of accomplishment for just handling my shit, taking care of it, having the ability to be honest with myself. And now much more than ever, I have if somebody tells me like, hey, I don't think that this was like the best way to handle something, now more than ever, I have the ability to actually like step back and try and actually hear what they're saying versus just being like, like being attacked.
That made me cry.
Literally. So just like letting the defense down and just like being open. And I feel like, yeah, just like all of the changes that I've done, I feel like a very different person. Like kind of to follow up with the first question, like Emily 3 years ago, if what happened to me a month ago happened to me 3 years ago, I probably would have burned a building down. Like, I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
I would have gone full revenge mode. And instead, I was just like, okay, that's how you want to handle it? Bet.
That's cool. You're
Bet.
bigger
You will
than that.
never see me again.
Yeah.
Period. You will don't worry. You
She
will
blocked the
never-
verified accounts, honey.
I just don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
That left me bitter and jaded, and like I'm good.
Yeah.
I wish nothing hard on any of them, which is something else that I'm surprised on.
Yeah.
Because Emily 3 years ago would have been like, I wish death
All the things.
to you. But honestly, I'm like, y'all live y'all's lives. Y'all
Yeah.
be happy. Y'all thrive. Do all the things. Just don't ever talk to me again.
Right. It could have
Just
gone so
literally-
differently.
Yeah, it could have, but it didn't, and I have no control over that. But
Right.
once again, mental health journey. She's much more healed now because she that shit rolled off my shoulder pretty quick.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you were
exactly-
literally working at a different place the next day.
Less than 12 hours after it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
I got told to get my shit out. And I was in a different salon the next day with my shit still at my old salon.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
With a new guest.
I cried in bed for 2 weeks after I got fired.
Girl, I was
Literally.
like, I gotta feed
So
these cats.
depressed.
Yeah.
I said, I have to feed these cats.
Honey, I had to go work at Great Clips for a month to get my groove back.
It do be like that. But hey, that's what Great Clips is for.
It is.
Hey,
You're
I
like-
do a
you're
men's
like-
cut a lot faster now. Listen, if you don't learn, you got to grow
And
and
also,
learn.
you can't be mad at me for crying in your haircut when you're only paying $13 for it.
Shit, I was too busy to be thinking about anything but cutting hair. I
Yeah.
will say it did change my perspective on some. Oh, them girls work hard.
And it will.
If you work at Great Clips or Supercuts,
You're
you're
the
a
real
different
MVP.
kind of beast, man.
The real MVP.
Seriously.
I could not do 15, 20 haircuts in a day.
Absolutely not. We really got to go before
Oh yeah,
we have
do.
to reset
It's 8
again.
o'clock. Yeah.
Anyway, this has been another episode of Breakroom Banter. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are listening on your favorite podcast app, make sure you go check out our YouTube channel. It's Breakroom Banter Podcast. Make sure you can follow us all on our social media journeys. I am at Herrick's Hunter on all the things.
At M's Creations on all the things.
Ericka the Redhead on all the things.
And our podcast is at Breakroom Banter Pod on all the things. We also have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/Breakroom Banter Pod. It's a $5 donation monthly to help support us and build this beautiful studio. Anyway, until next time, remember,
You always have a seat at our table.
bye.
Bye.